Hello everybody, it's Keren here from tuppencecoloured.co.uk. Thank you very much for joining me for another Celebration Saturday. Now if you're new to Stampin' Up and you don't know what Celebration is, well, it's a promotion that Stampin' Up do every year from the beginning of January to the end of March, and during that time, every time you spend £45 in one transaction before postage and packing from any of our catalogues or even from the clearance rack, you can choose an item for free from the Celebration catalogue. Now, I say catalogue, it's actually now 2 catalogues because they issued a supplement on the 21st of February. And so we've got a few extra things to play with. Now, as you can see, it only runs to the 31st of March. I'm filming this at the beginning of March. So if you want any of these gorgeous items, because you can't buy them, you can only earn them, then now's the time to start thinking about making your order. Okay, now today I am going to be using something from this brochure, and I'm going to be using the 6x6 glimmer paper. I've absolutely fallen in love with this, and I am so sad that it's only going to be with us for a few short weeks. As you can see, those colours are absolutely stunning. I have completely fallen in love with them. So I think you're going to be seeing them in projects that aren't necessarily Celebration Saturday over the next few weeks. But stay with me and let's see what we can make using it. I'm going to be using the Bermuda Bay glimmer paper, and I've cut myself a card base which is just some white card, and it's 4 inches by 11.5, and I folded it at 5 3/4 of an inch to make my card base. This is basic black, and I've cut that to 4 inches by 5 3/4, so it's the exact size of the front of my card base. I'm going to be using the Up and Away thin nuts. And I'm going to be doing some stamping, so I'm going to be using sunshine sayings, that's easy for you to say, and Whisper White ink. I'm using the stamps that say Love and Is in the Air from Sunshine Sayings, and I've got them mounted up already onto my stamp press. And the reason why I'm using this is because I'm using Whisper White ink onto black card, and I want to give it more than one coat, because Whisper White ink is very good. It's very densely pigmented and it's very juicy, but it does soak into card as it dries. So I want to make sure that I've got a nice bright white sentiment. So I'm inking up my stamps. And the benefit of the stamp press is that it allows me to stamp multiple times in exactly the same place on my card. And this isn't a Stampin' Up product. But there are a number of versions of this type of stamp press on the market, and we demonstrators keep petitioning Stampin' Up and saying, please can we have a Stampin' Up stamp press, but we haven't got one yet. But you know, fingers crossed, you never know. I said I bought this one when I had a very good sales month, and you know, at the time it was kind of the only one that was really on the market. But there are now others. Other companies are starting to make something very similar. Whoops, really dropped it. Didn't want to do that, although it wouldn't have done any harm. And they are starting to get a little bit less pricey. And there are even people, you can even make your own. People have made them with using picture frames from IKEA. One of my team members even made one using Lego. I don't have young children anymore, so I don't have any Lego, so I couldn't go out and do that one, otherwise I probably would have given that a go. Okay, so I've stamped Love Is in the Air twice in the Whisper White on the black card, and as you can see, that's given me a very nice bright white stamping. I'm going to be using this die on my glimmer paper today, and I am going to be using the precision base plate. And I just want to take a couple of minutes just to talk about the precision base plate and why you might need it. Now, when you get your big shot, it comes with all of the platforms and the cutting pads and all the things that you need to get you started. So you might be asking yourself, well, why do I need this as well? And the answer is, well, you don't, strictly speaking, need it. You can get along without it. There are dodges and workarounds for cutting intricate dies, but if you are cutting dies that have got intricate detail in them, you really should think about getting this. It will make your life a great deal easier. Now, the way it works is you have it that side up, you put your material that you want to cut, some glimmer paper, and I'm going to turn it over because it does cut slightly more easily from the plain side, and then you put your die on top of it. Your other cutting plate goes over the top, and then you put it onto your platform. Now, if you are using the magnetic platform, which I am here, be careful because those magnets are very strong, and if you trap your fingers in there, it will hurt, believe me. Now, the reason why the precision plate works so much better is because it is so hard, and when you roll your die through the big shot, the force from the rollers isn't absorbed as much by the hard material as it is by the somewhat softer cutting plate. The other thing I will say is that the first time you run it through, you're going to think, I'm going to break a machine, because it's a very tight grip to it. As long as you haven't got anything else in there that you shouldn't have, your machine will be fine. Trust me on it. All right, so I'm going to take this over now, and I am going to cut it out, and I will be back in a minute. Okay, so now I'm just going to put this together. So I'm going to start by putting snail on the back of my piece of basic black. And, oops, that is going to completely cover, or should completely cover, the front of the card there. And you can see I went over it with my embossing buddy just to stop bits of glitter getting where I don't want them. Now, normally when I'm gluing something that's intricate like this, I stick the glue on the back of my hand and I just dab my my die cut into it. Now, people have been saying, well, don't do that, right? Why don't you try using a sponge instead? So I'm going to give it a try today. I've got this is just a piece of kitchen sponge, and I've just put some of my my wet glue into it, and I'm just going to dab over the back, and I'm going to see if that works any better than my sticking my fingers sticking it over the back of my hand method does. And now I've got sticky all over my silicone mat, so let's push that out of the way and decide where I want this and press it down. And there we go. And there's my finished card. Nice and straightforward and easy to do, but not to talk about apparently. So there it is, the finished card, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if so, then please do like, comment, share and subscribe to my channel. I will be posting more videos very soon. If you want to hop on over to my Facebook page and leave me a picture of what you've been up to, I would really like to see it. So go on over there, why don't you? Address is below this video. But for now, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope that I will see you again very soon. Bye bye.